Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Drew suspects Tracy drugged him. Brooklyn tells Tracy almost everything about her baby. And Drew suspects he knows who drugged him today on General Hospital. Joss steals Emma's flash drive. Rocco drinks too much at the beach party, and Carly and Nina try to figure out how to keep Willow from forgiving Drew. Carly arrives at Nina's and says she can't believe how she came through for them, assuming the video of Drew was all Nina's doing. They sit down, and Nina explains the initial plan, which went off the rails when Jacinda and Drew made a scene at the Savoy. Then Willow found what appeared to be Drew in bed with Jacinda. Nina knew it had to be done, but she hates herself for hurting Willow. Carly knows what it's like walking in on your husband in bed with another woman, but it had to be done. Now, Michael and Willow can work things out. Nina fears that won't happen. Nina explains that Drew tried to convince Willow that he remembers nothing, and now he's going to get a blood test, which will show ketamine in his system. Carly tells her she should have used another drug, one that exits the blood quickly. She rants that this will make Drew an even bigger victim in Willow's eyes, and, in the end, draw Willow even closer to Drew. In the Quartermain kitchen, Lucy works with Lois and Maxie planning the nurses' ball. Lucy wonders if there is any way to keep Carly backstage out of their hair the entire night. Maxie and Lois' eyes bug out. Maxie points out that it's Carly's hotel, and Lois says no matter where Carly is, they'll still hear her. Lucy is worried Carly will cause a scene with Drew and Willow, but Maxie tells Lucy she's caused more scenes at the ball than anyone else. Lucy steps out, and Lois talks to Maxie about Brooklyn. She thanks her for being a good friend to her daughter, and says she'll need her friendship now more than ever. In the living room, Brooklyn leaves Tracy in tears and speechless that she had a baby in high school and gave it up for adoption. Brooklyn explains that until recently, the only person who knew was her mom. She is sorry she lied to her granny, but Tracy insists she didn't lie to her. Brooklyn says she tried for years to put her boy out of her mind, and until recently, she didn't know she even had a son. Lulu told her, and she fills Tracy in on how Lulu broke into Martin's room trying to find dirt on Valentin and found out about her baby. Tracy asks how Martin got involved. Brooklyn explains that her mom talked to him to make sure the adoption would remain sealed. She continues telling her how Lulu confronted her and accused her of doing everything wrong, and that the father had a right to know. Maybe she should have told him, but she was so scared. Tracy tells her to stop second-guessing herself. She asks if giving the child up is what she wanted to do. Does she regret her choice? Brooklyn does, but she also knows she was a teen, and raising a child would have been so challenging. She knew she was not ready to be a mom, and Lois was there for her. She wanted to give her child a better life than she could as a teenager. Tracy says she made a responsible decision, and she's proud of her. Brooklyn turned to her mom, who turned to her own mother for support, which she recently found out. She also realizes her mom had to help give up her own grandchild. Tracy tells her how strong she is, now and then, and she's always felt she was the best of the Quartermains. She also tells Brooklyn she doesn't owe it to Ned to tell him about the baby, and she didn't have to tell her, but she thanks her for doing so. Tracy has to ask, with what she and Chase are going through, has she been tempted to find her son? Brooklyn has, but the point was to give him a better life. The only way she'll see her son is if he comes looking for her, but Lulu disagrees and thinks she should tell everyone. Tracy knows Lulu can be arrogant and pig-headed like her father. Tracy cries that she's heartbroken that Brooklyn was afraid to tell her, and never to doubt that she loves her. Lois finds Tracy to discuss the nurses' ball. Tracy only wants to talk about one thing and asks where her great-grandson is. Back in the kitchen, Brooklyn is happy to see Maxie, as she's been dealing with Quartermain insanity. Maxie asks if she can help. Brooklyn says she can't confide in Maxie until she picks a side. Is she her friend or Lulu's? Brooklyn explains things have gone too far, and Maxie has to choose. Brooklyn walks away, leaving Maxie stunned. At the hospital, Drew thanks Willow for coming with him and swears he will get to the bottom of this. Spotting them, Amy gossips with another nurse about why Willow is with Drew and whether he's here to be tested for STIs. Amy talks to Willow later and tells her how sorry she is about what happened. She says she can do much better than staying with a cheating man. Willow tells her to stop gossiping and get back to work. Drew returns after having his blood taken and thanks Willow again for supporting him. Azia appears and reveals that Drew has ketamine in his system. Drew says he knew he was drugged and asks Willow if she believes him. She does, and he thanks her as that means a lot to him. She just wants to get home, so he tells her to take his car as he has business to take care of. She tells him she'll see him at their house and kisses him on the cheek. Willow leaves, and Drew spots Mac and Felicia. Drew talks to Mac to report a crime and shows him his blood work results, indicating he was drugged. Mac asks who the last person he remembers being with is. Drew has a fuzzy memory of Tracy. Back at Nina's, she tells Carly the more pressure they'd put on Drew, the more likely he'll slip up. Carly believes she needs to convince Willow that Drew took those drugs and cheated, because if she doesn't leave Drew, then Michael will never let her raise her kids with him. Nana says she can't push Willow and risk making her suspicious. Just then, Willow walks through the door. At Lulu's, Downey asks her to hear him out. He says she got a big win with the Drew story, so she doesn't need the adoption story. He asks her to write about something else. Lulu refuses and won't let Brooklyn dictate who or what she writes about. She won't risk her career for Brooklyn's sake. Dandy tells her that Chase and Brooklyn are his friends, and they are struggling. He reminds her of their own fertility problems and how hard it was on them. Lulu knows she couldn't have made it through that time without him. Lulu explains that this story is just too important, and it needs to be told. She asks why Brooklyn's needs are more important than hers. She says Brooklyn is no damsel in distress, and if Dante knew what she knew. He knows she's mad about the fling he and BLQ had that summer that he didn't tell her about, but this isn't about Brooklyn. He believes it's about the fact that she's still in love with him. Lulu tries to deny it, but eventually admits it is true and asks who told him. Dandy says it doesn't matter, and he shouldn't have said anything. She says he did, so talk. Dante is grateful she's back, but ever since she woke up, she's had him at his wit's end. He talked to Maxie, and she told him that Lulu had broken up with Dustin to be with him right before she fell into the coma. He thought she had moved on with Dustin, and he never knew how she felt. He fell in love with Sam, and it just happened. He asks if Lulu thinks he should have waited for him. Lulu says she didn't expect him to wait, and is glad Sam was there for him and Rocco. It turns out, she's not jealous of Brooklyn, she's jealous of Sam. Sam's the woman who died to save her, and that makes her feel awful. Lulu explains that she is trying to move on, but sometimes she feels stuck in the past, and the truth is she's still in love with him, but he's in love with Sam. Dante reveals he's still in love with her too. At the beach party, Emma, Joss, and Gio are